planted some bulbs and flowers here, wildflower seeds, but I don't see anything coming up other than grass and weeds. I tried to fill that little spot with some flowers, some bulbs, hoping it would grow and it would kind of make that little spot a little bit nicer, just because it's kind of dull over there. But I'll try again and see if I can get anything to grow. Andrew got a new hose for the garden. We really needed one. A lot of the hoses that we have are really old. When we first started this gardening journey, even before then, before probably we got together, he's had those hoses and we've used them ever since. So they're dry rotting and they've been run over with, like lawnmowers and stuff, and we've had to, customize certain ones for certain things that we needed. So we just needed a new hose altogether. So Andrew ended up getting one, which we really, really needed. If you can't tell, I've got the garden behind me. I figured I could see what kind of trouble I could get into today in the garden. But first, I am going to check on the garlic and asparagus, hoping asparagus has popped. It's been probably about a week since we've planted more asparagus and we've watered them continuously. So I'm gonna go look and see if I can find anything in there. Look how big this asparagus, not just this one, but the one behind it, how big they are. For size reference, I am 5'2", 5'3" on a good day, and this asparagus is taller than I am. And same thing with this one. This one's probably even taller than that one. Looks like there's more scapes that I can harvest. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That's a pretty good harvest. There's still going to be more coming through. They just all haven't really established themselves yet. They're still really small. They're all kind of growing at different rates, but you can see this one has just started. This one doesn't even, yeah, there's one right here. So it might be a little bit before I get even more, but I have harvested quite a few of the last few days, which is pretty good. I'm really excited to eat them this weekend. I checked and see if we had any new asparagus popping up. Unfortunately, I don't see any yet. I'm hoping in the next few days things will start popping. I know with asparagus, it takes a little bit longer for them to pop. So keep our fingers crossed and hope. Let's go ahead and move on to the garden. I haven't been in there in a few days, so I'm very excited to see what's going on. We've got a volunteer dill, which I'm really excited about. I noticed as I was getting over the ladder to come to the garden that the row cover came off, which is unfortunate. I'm assuming it wasn't like that last night. Andrew was out here and he didn't say anything to me about it, so it probably happened in the middle of the night or this morning. But so far, everything looks okay. I don't see any issues. I'm gonna have to go through and start thinning them out. There's at least 2 in each spot. I'll fix everything as was. I'm gonna tighten this one up a little bit though. Onions seem to be doing pretty good. Because we had a free pepper row, I decided to fill it with onions this year, hoping that we have good luck. I grew onions last year in pots, but unfortunately, they didn't get to the size that I would like them to be, so I'm hoping that we have better luck in this row. So a few things about the garlic scapes and the onions. You can cut the garlic scapes like I had showed you, and you can use them in recipes, replace onions or garlic, anything, or a garnish. Like I said, personally, I haven't tried them yet because last year I had an issue where I waited too long. So you can definitely eat those. You can make pesto out of it. You can make garlic butter, all kinds of things. Now with the onion tops, kind of the same thing. You can use that in your eggs, and also when you're cutting the onion tops, it promotes the onions to grow bigger bulbs. Looks like the wind blew some of the line into the beans. Fix that real quick. Assess any damages. I think we're okay here. We must have had some pretty decent wind for that row cover to come off and then for these water lines to get kicked up too. I mean, the water lines are pretty light, but for them to move like that had to be pretty intense. Corn is getting so much bigger from the last time I showed you. I'm gonna wait a while because we planted at least 2 to 3 per hole until they get big enough, and then I can thin these out as well. I've got more corn that I want to plant. I just haven't done it yet. I'm gonna do that this weekend. Whatever this is, it's the absolute devil. Last year, or even the first year I think when we moved here, I wanted to give the chickens some fresh grass and weeds, so I was going through and grabbing things with my bare hands, and I grabbed one of these and I was picking these out of my hands for a solid week, and it does not feel good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the water on for the garden. There's a few things that I want to water, but other than that, it's a really beautiful day out today. It's a little warm. Yesterday was pretty warm too, so it's not as bad, but I'm okay with the heat unless it's like really, really humid. Then I struggle, but I usually do okay in the heat. I work in a factory, so I'm used to it. It's definitely something you want to be cautious of when you're watering. You don't want to water in the heat of the day because you don't want to burn your plants. But there are things that haven't popped yet that I can water, like my squash, so I'm going to go do that. Strawberries seem to be doing well so far. I'm hoping that they do well in this planter that I've got. I've always wanted strawberries. I've just really never had a place yet to put them. So I put, let's see, I got 3 on top and then 2 on the side. So I'm very hopeful. They're the All-Stars strawberries. Pretty sure it's more of like a, not a fall, but later in the season. Yeah, late spring. Andrew got this thing here, which I'm really excited to try out. I hate this hose. I've hated it since the day we got it because it kinks so easy. And he said that this is going to prevent kinks because it twists and allows the head of this to move around. So we're gonna give it a shot and see how it works. I've got a problem. I've got no water, so now I have to go and investigate. I'm assuming that the, I don't know what they're called, but they're little switches that we've got. We've got one for the ducks and one for the garden, and we can turn the water on and off and allow it to go one way or the other. So I'm thinking it got turned off. So I'm gonna go see here, because I think it's a splitter, that's what it's called, but I don't know which one goes to which. I think the green one goes to the garden. So let's go find out. Okay, I was wrong. Oh, I gotta turn the sprinkler off for the garlic and the asparagus. I don't want it to burn. I didn't realize it was on, or else I would have shut it off. Whew. Crisis averted. The sprinkler is off. I had to run. Because like I said, I don't want to burn the asparagus or the garlic because it's really hot today. Let me catch my breath. So maybe you guys can help us figure out this debate that Andrew and I have going on. I have here an unknown, so I personally think this is cilantro. Andrew thinks it's parsley. Now when I pick it and I smell it, it smells exactly like cilantro. And it's bolting, and cilantro does not like heat. Now if it was parsley, I highly doubt it would be bolting. So let me know in the comments what you think this is. Because we're not planting the whole garden this year, we are only doing every other row with the tomatoes. So I had an idea, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm showing you the whole row so you kind of get an idea of what's going on. So you can see that there's tomatoes in every other row, but in those empty spots. So I'm going to cut this a little short, but I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing. I could put them in my planters, no problem, But the issue is because the planters are so small, they require a lot of water, and I couldn't keep up with it. So I lost a lot of my herbs. So I'm hoping because we use the irrigation system that we have, it's going to be a lot easier to water that for me, so I'm not out here constantly watering that, and that I'm going to have an abundance of herbs because I am running low and I really need that. But I am going to head out. I'm going to water these squash. My phone is getting really hot. It's a hot day out today and I don't want anything to happen, so I'm going to pretty much spend the day out here doing whatnot, weeding, making sure everything's okay. Thank you for spending some time with me today on the homestead. Really appreciate it. And then we'll see you on the next one. Take care.